In February 1959, 9 experienced hikers set off into Russia's Ural Mountains. They were students from the Ural Polytechnical Institute, led by Igor Dyatlov. Their goal was to reach the snowy summit of Mount Otorten. They never made it. When the group failed to return, a search party was launched. What rescuers found became one of the most chilling mysteries in modern history. The hiker's tent was discovered on the slope of a mountain called Kolit, translated from the local Mansi language as Mountain of the Dead. The tent had been slashed open from the inside. Belongings were still inside. Shoes, jackets, food, but the hikers were gone. Then, bodies started appearing. 2 were found near the edge of the forest, in nothing but their underwear. 3 more were found scattered between the trees and the tent, as if they had tried to return but collapsed in the snow. The final 4 were discovered weeks later, buried under several feet of snow in a small ravine. These bodies had injuries that stunned investigators. Crushed ribs, a shattered skull. One woman had no eyes and no tongue. Strangely, there were no signs of a struggle, no defensive wounds, no external bruising that matched the severity of their internal injuries. Even more bizarre, some of the clothing tested positive for radiation. The Soviet investigation concluded the hikers died from an unknown compelling force. That's all they said. Since then, the mystery has only grown. Some believe a slab avalanche startled them and forced them to flee. Others suggest military testing, parachute mines, radiation leaks, or a weapons cover-up. There are even theories of infrasound causing panic and whispers of something more supernatural, something no one wants to admit. The case remains open in the minds of those who seek the truth, and though science has tried to explain it, no theory truly answers all the questions. It wasn't until February 20th, nearly 3 weeks after their last contact, that a search party was organized. Family members grew concerned. Something wasn't right. On February 26th, rescuers finally discovered the tent. What they found chilled them to the bone. The tent had been slashed open from the inside. It was still partially standing, with some of the hikers' belongings, clothing, boots, even food, left behind. Footprints, barefoot or wearing only socks, led away from the site into the surrounding snow. Rescuers followed the prints down a wooded slope. That's when they discovered the first bodies. Yuri Doroshenko and Yuri Krivonischenko were lying near the edge of the forest, beneath a large cedar tree. They were dressed only in underwear and had no shoes. Nearby, remnants of a small fire were found. Charred branches and burned fingers. They had tried to stay alive, but the cold was too much. A few hundred meters away, they found the bodies of Dyatlov, Kolmogorova, and Slobodin scattered as if they had tried to return to the tent but never made it. Slobodin's skull showed signs of injury, but nothing conclusive. 2 months later, the remaining 4 were discovered deeper in the woods, in a ravine covered in snow. These bodies told a more disturbing story. The strange injuries: Ludmila Dubinina's ribs were crushed, her eyes were missing, her tongue was gone. Alexander Kolevatov had neck trauma. Thibaut Brignol suffered a massive skull fracture. Zolotaryov's ribs were broken with force equivalent to a car crash. Yet their bodies showed no external wounds, no bruises, no cuts, nothing that matched the severity of their injuries. Even stranger, some of their clothing tested positive for radiation. The Soviet investigation offered little explanation. The official cause of death? A compelling natural force. The case was quickly closed.